Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you some easy recipes that can be easily transformed into homemade gifts to give to anybody in your life, like friends, teachers, coworkers. Super simple to make, easy to do last minute, and really delicious. So let me show you these recipes. Okay, so here we go. First recipe. The first thing that we're gonna do here, oh wait, I should tell you what it is, right? All right, so this is a Pretzel Toffee Bark. It is so good. The first thing that we're gonna do is melt some butter, 3/4 of a cup on the stove, and then we're gonna add 1 cup of brown sugar to that. While we're doing that, we're gonna put the pretzels on a pan. This is a pretty large pan. I'll put the measurements in the description. I think it was like 17 by 11. And so just like spread the pretzels out evenly. If you do different shaped pretzels, that's fine. You just want them all in a single layer covering the pan. Once the caramel mixture is bubbling, you're gonna just pour that out and start spreading it out evenly. And then we're gonna pop that in the oven. The oven is gonna be set to 350, and we're gonna bake that for 5 to 10 minutes. That needs to bubble also in there so that the toffee gets nice and hard. As soon as it comes out, we are going to spread the chocolate chips on top. If you just pop it back in the warm oven for like 1 minute only, it should make all the chocolate melt. So once you see that all the chocolate is shiny, it's ready to spread out. So once that's melted, you spread it all across evenly, and immediately after that you can top it with extra toppings if you want. I chose to do like maybe about 1/4 cup of crushed pretzels and some sprinkles, make it look nice and Christmassy. You don't have to do that. You could just leave it chocolate on top, or you could add nuts or whatever you want really. You just let that come to room temperature, and then you put it in the fridge for about an hour or so till it's fully solid, and then you can break it up into whatever size pieces you want. I was looking at the bottom of it to make sure there was no paper. Yeah, I didn't want somebody to like get a piece with parchment paper stuck to it. And then I packaged it up in some like little gift boxes and just like some clear gift bags. I cut them down and then put some ribbon around it so it looked nice. And then also I thought like if you're taking it to like work, you could get like one of those festive Tupperware containers and take it in like that, or to a Christmas party, whatever. It would be a great treat to take to any type of holiday events that you have going on this season. While my pretzel toffee was in the fridge, I made this popcorn, and what I start out by doing is melting the coconut oil on the pan. I do about 2 to 3 tablespoons of that. You set your pan to about medium temperature, and then I put 1 kernel in the pan. I hadn't done this on my previous popcorn video, if you ever saw that. But this I find helps the popcorn not get as chewy. Sometimes homemade popcorn can get a little chewy. By the time that first kernel pops, you know your whole pan is hot enough to start popping the popcorn. So then you add all that popcorn, and I do a 1/2 teaspoon of salt in this part. And then while it's popping, I melt the butter in the microwave. I usually do 3 to 4 tablespoons of butter. I spoon the butter and then sprinkle the seasoning, alternating and like mixing up the popcorn as I go until I feel like it's all nice and coated. I probably used almost a teaspoon of the seasoning, but I was just sprinkling it on and eyeballing it, so I can't tell you exactly for sure, but that's probably what I did. And you know, you could just taste it and see if it tastes salty enough to you, and that way you know. It's just a nice gift to give somebody because it's not like sugary like everything else that you usually get around Christmas time. It's really good and fun and a little bit different, and also really budget friendly if you're looking for, you know, budget friendly gifts and things to take to Christmas parties during this season. once your popcorn is done, just make sure you get it to a really, till it's really cooled off before you start packaging it. I actually had mine cooling for a while, and then I put it in the bags. I decided to put it in a plastic bag before I put it in the paper bag. Like, the paper bag's cute, but I felt like the plastic bag would help it not get stale as fast, so that's why I did that. And then in the container that I got, I think I got that at like the Dollar Tree or something like that. That's a great place to get containers and stuff like that for gifts. On to the next recipe. I am making some homemade Nutella type of thing. So you start by going to 3 grocery stores to find hazelnuts, or at least that's what I did. And you also find out that you only need 1 package. So 9 ounces of hazelnuts is enough for this recipe, if you were wondering. I toasted my hazelnuts. 6 to 8 minutes at 400 is all that it takes to toast them. And then you kind of want to peel the skin using like a paper towel. It comes off pretty easily. You don't have to be exact though. You don't have to get every little bit off. It's not that big of a deal. I blended that up for a few minutes till it became kind of like a nut butter look to them. You're gonna start adding your other ingredients, which is 1/3 of a cup of coconut sugar, 1/4 of a cup of cocoa powder, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and about 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Later, we're going to add some coconut oil as well, but we're going to blend this up first. So you just blend and scrape the sides every once in a while as needed. You could add some more chocolate and some more sugar if you wanted to. I ended up actually adding about maybe like 1/4 cup more sugar, something like that. And once I added those 2 tablespoons of melted coconut oil, that did help make it a little bit smoother, but it still is more of a chunky texture. If you have a better blender, it will probably turn out even better. I really enjoyed the taste, so I didn't mind. If you have somebody in your family that you're gifting to that is more health conscious, or gluten-free or dairy-free, this is kind of like a nice recipe. And especially if you give them those Simple Mills grams, these are really good. And I believe they're gluten-free, dairy-free, and refined sugar-free and all that. I just put it in jars and in like a little gift bag. All right, lastly, we're going to make these pecan cookies. First of all, you're gonna start by toasting your pecans for about 3 to 5 minutes on a medium-low heat till you start smelling them. You want to just stay right there because they can burn really fast. While that was kind of heating, I did have my other ingredients, so I started getting those ready. You're gonna add 1 cup of butter and 2/3 cup of granulated sugar to a mixer and beat until they're nice and fluffy. You're gonna add your other ingredients, your 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I did vanilla bean paste. You can do vanilla extract. 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of cornstarch. Mix that all together until it's well combined. Scrape your sides as needed. You're gonna do 2 cups of flour, just a little bit at a time while the mixer is going until it's all well combined. Make sure your nuts are cooled to room temperature before you add them, because otherwise it's going to melt your butter. Add those and mix those in. Then you're going to put it in some parchment paper or wax paper and form it into a log. So I used some flour on my hands and on the wax paper a little bit to make it form into a log a little easier because it was a little sticky at this point. And then I just stuck it in the freezer. The nice thing about this recipe is you can make it well in advance and have it in the freezer even like a month ahead of time. If you're like really busy during the holidays like most people are, it's kind of a nice thing. You can make your cookie dough, stick it in the freezer, take it out the night before you go to a party or before you want to gift some to some people. It's a great make ahead recipe. And I just stuck it in the freezer. I also wrapped it in plastic while it was in the freezer. Then I took it out the night before I baked it. I used these parchment paper sheets and I just cut them in half for these small baking sheets that I had. And then you're gonna cut your cookies about 1/4 of an inch thick. I think I started cutting them too thick for the first round, so they ended up getting really huge. Wasn't expecting that. I was kind of expecting them to keep their shape. They didn't for whatever reason. I don't know if that was because I thawed them too much or like what the deal is with that, but either way, these cookies are so delicious. They're really buttery and chewy, not overly sweet. My parents loved these cookies so much, and I just wrapped those with plastic. You could see, I think I did like about 6 and then just wrapped it with plastic and put some ribbon around it, or you could take it to work or to a party in a nice holiday container. I hope you enjoyed watching this video of all these recipes. I think they all turned out really yummy. I think my favorite recipe, I mean everyone's favorite recipe who tried these, is the pretzel bark, and it just mixes all those things like the carameliness of toffee and chocolate and salty pretzels all together. It's so good, and it makes a lot, so it's really nice to gift or even to take to like a party. If you're going to like a holiday party, I like getting these like Christmas containers, take them there. They're really cheap, so if you just leave them there or take them to work in a container like that, super easy. And then the cookies, like I said, they didn't turn out exactly like I expected, but they taste so good. They're super buttery and crispy, but not dry. Another great thing to take in one of these kind of holiday containers to work or to a party, or you can just wrap them up individually and take them for individual people or whatever. I also like the idea of making a couple of these recipes and, you know, putting it all in a bag. Like you have the Nutella, and then, you know, maybe you want to throw some of that in there and the cookies, and give somebody like a little sample pack of all the things that you made. That's super fun. Or you could make, you know, I mean, the popcorn is nice because it's not sugary sweet like every other thing you get during the holidays. All the recipes are going to be linked or written out in the description box below, so just click the little more under the description box, and it always has the recipes. I always write everything out. If you ever have questions, make sure you leave comments, or if you made it to this part of the video, just comment some Christmas trees or some Merry Christmases to everyone watching. That would be great to let me know who's seen the video. It's always nice to read your comments. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like it. I have some exciting new recipes coming up in the next few weeks, so make sure you subscribe for more content from me. Thank you so much for watching. Merry Christmas. Have a great day wherever you are. See you in the next video. Ooh. Let's get the crap out of me. Is it? The lights are so bright, I can't see it. I just dropped it on the floor. On camera. Just these. Okay, now power through it. Baby, baby, baby. Oh my gosh, I'm recording.